Cochin is a great bit of heavy rainfall for the past couple of days, and uh, yeah, Kerala as such is seeing a lot of developments. I hope you know about our metros, our white topping roads, and all that.
Yes, yes. I get an update. I think Metro is a good project for Kerala. It really boosted the public transportation, and I think even the construction went a record time, I believe.
Yeah, in Cochin.
White
In fact,
white topping is good. In fact, 10 years back itself, I did a lot of studies in Kerala to promote white topping. Uh,
I remember. I remember. I think we also spoke. I'm with Ultratech. Uh,
yes,
so I think your company did a small survey a couple of years back.
for that
So
HMT road and
exactly. So during that time, I think you also had dropped into Cochin, no?
yes, yes, I did come to Cochin. Yes,
Then we met. My hairstyle and the beard and all was not there during that time.
you,
Uh,
you have
we have,
become smart now.
no, I'm also with a string. I'm actually in the hospital. I just had a small uh, fracture of my left wrist.
Oh, okay.
Just
Well,
had.
I could see the okay, good, good.
Nice. How are things going, sir? Uh,
Good. I
Business.
think it's picking up now post-COVID lockdown and all.
Right.
Infrastructure spending is happening. So I think we'll have a good times coming in future.
And here, in fact, after that project, the next project took off recently, about 2 years back. They did about 25 kilometers of white topping in a place called Alapi, the entire
Okay.
city. So now things are picking up. So
I think in the whole of the country, all these urban, I mean, town cities requires huge investment, and it's going to happen. So maybe little delay here and there, but it's a need of the day.
yeah. Okay, so we'll catch up.
Yeah.
In
Yes.
fact, I'll take your number from Dr. Girish and get in touch with you.
Sure. Sure. Thank you.
So with your permission, we'll try to start, and meanwhile, people will join, sir. Is that okay, sir?
Yes, yes, done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, Pujita, please proceed with the proceedings.
Yes, sir. It is great to have you all back for our last session. And once again, I welcome you all to the final event of the second International Conference on Sustainable Construction Technologies and Advancements in Civil Engineering, ScTACE 2021, organized by Department of Civil Engineering, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, in collaboration with Indian Concrete Institute Student Chapter. We successfully completed all the keynote talks and the presentations by our experts and authors. Sincere thanks to all the eminent speakers, presenters, and listeners for being a part of ScTACE 2021 and providing us with such a valuable information. Once again, thank you. It fades away, and the internal lingers and echoes is the most depth of our hearts. It reminds us the events like this are milestones of the journey of our life and remains of God fidelity all true. As a part of our valediction, I take the privilege to introduce our chief guest, Engineer K.V. Ratnakar Reddy Garu. Engineer K.V. Ratnakar Reddy Garu has obtained his bachelor's degree in civil engineering from SIT Tumkur in 1998 and master's in highway engineering from UVCE Bangalore with a gold medal in 2001. He is the founder and the managing director of Infra Support Engineering Consultants Private Limited, Bangalore. Infra Support provides consultancy service from concept to design to construction supervision and project management for various infrastructure projects like roads, highways, traffic transportation, buildings or structures, railways, and urban infrastructure in India and abroad. The company is listed under 10 most valuable engineering and infrastructure companies in Search Success Magazine, November 18, 2016. He is a life member of Indian Roads Congress, life member of Indian Concrete Institute, and also selected council member of Indian Road Congress. Mr. Reddy is a recipient of Professor C.E. G. Gaston Gold Medal for outstanding performance in Masters Highway Engineering, Bangalore University in 2001. Century International Quality Era Award, Geneva, Switzerland in 2015. Recipient of ICAI Young Engineer of Karnataka Award in the year 2015 and Gold Engineering in 2015. And over 13 technical papers which are published and presented in national and international proceedings and journals. And now I extend a warm welcome to one of our key guests, Engineer K.B. Ratnakar Reddy of SCTACE 2021 to with these words of wisdom.
Yes, sir. Please proceed, sir. Ratnakar Reddy, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pujita, for a great introduction. And I wish the whole program went well for the last few days. And is it audible, Grace? Seems some disturbance is there.
Sir, audible, sir. I'm muting other participants, sir.
Okay, fine. No, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to talk, as already mentioned, about urban roads. Uh, since I started my career in 2001, in the initial years, I was very much actively working on all the national highway projects, designing these national highways, 2 lane, 4 lane, 6 lane, and all. But off late, I have started showing keen interest in urban roads because urban roads is where all the action happens, which are mostly neglected, and funding is very less from governments across the states. If you look at the statistics of the last census, there are over 8,000 towns in our country, growing at a rate of 20 towns per year. The villages are becoming bigger and bigger, and they're converted into towns, from towns to cities. Except for just over 100 cities and towns, none of the balance 7,900 and odd towns have any public transport. Forget transport, public transport. They don't even have any planning department itself. So which shows the poor status of our urban infrastructure. The municipal councils or city councils are responsible for maintaining these roads, and they will just have maybe a junior most engineer, like junior engineer, assistant engineer, and he himself will plan, design, maintain all these roads with limited funding they get. So I just want to show this map just to give a glimpse of how we err in planning and building our city infrastructure. So this is a typical land use map of Bangalore city. If you look at from 1973 till 2013, the last revision, the city has just grown bigger and bigger, and but the infrastructure was never planned to take care of the future growth and traffic. So this is something similar to every town in this country. So the solution to this, or how do we address this, is if you want to build a sustainable urban roads, the key is planning and design. And like I said, all these 8,000 towns we have, they've never been planned. These cities have just evolved from a small village to big village to a town, and town to a bigger town and city. So they have never been planned, and since you don't plan, then there is no question of designing also. And we have construction, but then we have our own poor construction methodologies and absolutely no maintenance. If you have to build a robust urban streets, urban roads, then all these four are very critical: planning, design, construction, and maintenance. So quickly, if you look at what involves in planning. So whenever we design, we want to plan urban roads, we have to consider, for whom we are planning this. Are we planning this for the people who live in the city, or for the vehicles that cross the city, or for the industries and the houses that come across this road, and to which year? Okay, are we going to design these roads for traffic of this year, or next 10 years, or 20 years, or 50 years? And accordingly, we have to estimate what is the foreseeable traffic on these roads, and then plan ROWs and right of ways, which absolutely we don't do. Whenever these urban development authorities come out with a new layouts, they call new layout or new development, they simply design 100 feet road, 60 feet road, 40 feet road, without any absolute technical inputs going into it. And it's also time that we must bring travel time in the planning domain. So we must say, like in the smart cities of central government, they said ambitiously, the travel time between any point A to point B in a city should be less than 45 minutes. So something like that, whenever we are doing a planning, we must say, okay, my travel time in this city shall not be more than 30 minutes, or shall not be more than 45 minutes. Put a measure of travel time, and then you start putting all the technical inputs, then the planning will become awesome. The other important is, whenever we plan roads, we just most of the time we just consider, okay, carriageway, footpath, over. But unfortunately, these roads also carry many other modes of transport, and importantly, utilities. When I say other
Actually,
modes of transport, there are
sir,
cyclists.
sir, we are unable to see the change in slides, sir. Can you make
You
sure
want-
that?
No, I put only one slide. I'm going
Oh,
to talk only on this slide.
okay, sir, please.
Yeah. Okay. So when we build a road, okay, if you see, whether it's in Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Nagpur, or Bangalore, we see all, metro, or Cochin, for example, metros are being constructed. Where are these metros are constructed? The metros are constructed all on the road only, center of the road, median. So unless we consider these future modes of transportation, our planning will be very deficient. Then other important is utilities. These roads carry utilities like water, sewerage, then communication, telecommunications, cables, power lines, everything goes below the road. So unless we give in detail design aspects to this in the planning, we will end up having miserable urban roads. And now, since we are moving more into information technology, the traffic management centers, now the automatic signal system, then the smart lighting system, street lighting system, which are now introduced. Everything can be controlled from the control center, which click of the mouse, and this also has to be integrated in the planning. Now, the other important thing is we miss out is whenever we do the plan, we don't consider whom we are planning. The transportation planning, the urban road design has to be catered into the people who use these roads. So the basic element that goes into planning is, okay, fine, if a person comes out of his house, right, what distance there should be a bus stop, where he should catch a bus, whether he can go by cycle or he can walk. The choice should be yes. Or if you have a metro in big cities, metro train, okay, which is the nearest metro station for him. Unless we plan like this, we'll not have a robust urban streets and urban transportation. Right now, what we are doing, we plan like, for example, metro. Metro, we plan from one point to other point on the main road. Over. We don't even consider last mile, connectivity or first mile connectivity. So now people have realized after post construction, even in Bangalore now, okay, fine. There's a big study going on. How do we do the last mile and first mile connectivity? So if you do this in the planning itself, then we'll not end up building a chaos system right now what we see in most of the places. So the outcome of the planning should be enough choices should be given to the people so that he will be choosing whether he or she will use cycle, a motorbike, or catch a public transportation system like bus or a metro, or might use his private vehicle of two-wheeler or four-wheeler. Then once you do this planning, design is very important. So these urban street designs are very complex than a rural highway. For example, and designing a national highway of 4-lane or 6-lane is much easier than building 1 kilometer of urban main road. Just because these urban streets cater to many people and many utilities and many aspects. Now you have people who walk, people who go by cycle, people who use wheelchairs on the footpath. There are two-wheelers, four-wheelers, buses, and even maybe metro also on the center. And then you have all the utilities below the road. So the household connections, every utility, every cable has to go to the house, every water supply line, every sewerage line, all must go to that building, and then also connect to the larger network. So designing this of the sizes, what size of OFC duct is required, what size of stormwater drain size is required, what size of sewerage system is required. I think this goes a lot into the design. It involves various utility agencies sitting with them, discussions. So unless we do this, we'll not be able to do justice for the design. And the very important aspect is pavement type. Now, if you see, we have those days, we only used to have bituminous roads. Now we have bituminous roads, concrete roads, and then the white topping, paver blocks. There's so many pavement types are available. In Bangalore, for example, we started big way of white topping of the roads. And this white topping, in fact, started first in Mumbai, then big way in Chennai, Hyderabad, now in Cochin. Because the advantage of white topping is, the pavement lasts for next 20-30 years. So no more potholes, no more cracks, no more digging and all. So then we need to do life cycle cost analysis of that particular road and see, which pavement type suits well. Then comes to utilities. Then these utilities requires a regular maintenance. There should be a proper chambers at every interval. The electricity people will say we want a chamber in every 60 meters interval. The OFC department will come, no, we want chambers at every 40 meters. So these all have to be coordinated and incorporated very well in the design itself. Otherwise, most of the times what happens, we just do an estimate of the road. When the construction starts, then you start finding all these cables, pipes, then you revise the estimate, then delays in construction. I mean, that is what we do. So we must consider everything and do a proper in design stage itself. This is a few images of the famous Tendersure road designs in Bangalore, which has been done about 5-6 years back. And a considerable amount of planning and design has been gone into this Tendersure design roads. And then we had, costs like in those days, about 6 years back, the construction cost per kilometer was like 1.5 crores, 2 crores. Then suddenly, when we did this tendershire roads, the construction cost was like 10 crores, 12 crores, and 14 crores per kilometer. Then everybody started, rising this as a big issue or a big scam, saying, people
The
are,
slides are not moving, sir. Oh, please check that once.
yes. So, is this design slide visible now?
No, sir, still first slide. Maybe you have shared a window, sir. Please share the screen.
Oh my God! Wait.
Sure, sir, sure.
Now?
Now it's moving, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Please proceed, sir.
So fine. I thought fine. So I'll just quickly show the slides. Okay. So we discussed about the issues, about number of towns. We are adding 20 towns a year, and then we have 8,000 towns. This was a slide on this. And I showed this slide to show a typical in Bangalore, kind of planning we did in from 1973 till 2013. Every 10, 15 years we do revise the planning. So the object of showing this is the cities are growing very rapidly. So in 40, 50 years, a small town has become a very big city. So if you don't, the point is, if you don't plan for say 50 years or 100 years, we'll end up having chaos and mess what we created in most of our cities in the country. So then I said how it can be addressed. It can be addressed by four key important aspects, that is planning, design, construction, and maintenance. So what we miss out in most of our urban roads is planning and design, because none of these cities have ever been planned. They are only grown into cities from a small village to a bigger village to a town, and then a bigger town, and then city. So since we never had a planning, then the design also is not taken care, and only we did some construction and then a poor maintenance. So in the planning section, when I was talking, like, not only the road, we have to consider planning for future modes of transportation, like if there is a metro and monorail that is coming, and all the utilities that are required to cater for next 50 years or 100 years for the development that comes across these roads. So future traffic estimation is important, and integrating the information technology, like smart street lighting, automatic signals, and then now incident management system. Like suppose there is a accident happens, the control center gets a message. And now intelligent public transport system, where people standing in the bus stop will know at what time the bus is coming. So these are all aspects that must go in the planning, which we normally not doing it. And I also mentioned that the transportation planning, any urban transportation and the road planning must start from your doorstep. In the sense, the key element, the basic element of the whole urban planning is, citizens. So moment somebody walks, if you see the image, he walks out of his gate, he must have a choice. Either he can walk, he can take a bicycle, he can catch a public transport like bus or a metro, or he can use his personal vehicle, four-wheeler. So he must have all the choices. Then only we call it as a robust public transportation system and a robust urban planning. Without this, we are doing only ad hoc. For like we are doing all these metro constructions across all the cities. We are only building metros from one point to other point, without giving importance to the first mile connectivity and the last mile connectivity. If you don't give first mile and last mile connectivity, people don't use public transportation. So there must be a choice to the citizen always to choose the mode of transportation he wants to choose. So then what is missing in design all this time is that, like I already mentioned, urban road designs are very complex compared to a rural highways. So designing a 4-lane or a 6-lane highway is much, much easier. I have done that. but not the urban roads. If you want to design 1 kilometer of urban road, it takes a lot of your time and efforts, because not only carriageway, median, or footpath, you must have to see how my footpath is physically handicapped friendly, what kind of utilities this below the footpath must go, what is the size of my sewerage line, water supply line, OFC duct, electricity duct, and how my stormwater drain, where the water will goes, where the culvert should come. I mean, these are very, very complex, and this we are not designing only for today, but we will be designing this to take care for next 50 years. And suddenly, one fine day government will say, I'm going to pass metro transport on this road, then you must have enough space on the median. So all these aspects has to go in the design. And then another important is pavement. Pavement is the biggest money, it's kind of investment, the biggest money goes into the pavement. And then pavement requires maintenance. Now most of the municipalities and corporations, they are fed up of this spending money on the bituminous roads. Now they have started moving into concrete roads, which we call white topping, because white topping gives a lifespan of about 25-30 years, so that one time investment and there is no maintenance. And then other aspect is utility maintenances. So you have to coordinate with the many utility departments and make sure that your utilities are always maintainable and you follow proper design standards. So this image is about some of the images we did in Tendersure roads in Bangalore about 6 years back. When we did this Tendersure roads designs, and this is what exactly did, the whole thing went to the planning of making these roads sustainable for 25 years. And then there was a sign off between all the utility agencies saying, okay, we are not going to dig this road for next 25 years. And to do that, okay, you tell me what kind of infrastructure you want, what size of pipe you want, what size of OFC duct you want. So everything has been taken care. And then the cost went up by, nearly 5 to 6 times. At that time, when the construction cost of road was about 1 to 2 crores per kilometer, it was like 10 to 12 crores per kilometer. So there's a lot of challenges also, right? And then there are people also who are up against this huge cost and saying there is some scam is happening. And then you have to convince the political masters and the government bureaucrats saying that what we're doing is the best, because government always thinks very conservative in spending more money because they don't know what happens. And then during construction also, if you see the image, last image, number of utilities, pipes, ducts, cables, it was a mess. And unless we tackle this in urban roads, we can never get a sustainable roads. After planning and design, construction is key. Now, the problem now is we treat urban road construction as same as rural road construction. It cannot be, because in urban roads there is a life always. You got business happening, there's a commercial activities, people move from one part to other part, and they will say only same road will be there is no other alternative road. So unless we come out with fast track construction methodologies, like you use precast drains, your modular footpaths, go for precast concrete pavement itself, and then plan 24/7 in the shift basis, we cannot be able to complete the construction at a fastest time possible. If you don't do construction at the fastest time possible, there are huge losses the country has to bear. The losses is through loss of business, increase in travel times, delay in productivity. All these are costs. Actually, normally we don't attribute this cost, we only mention number of months delays, but these are all the costs involved in delay in construction. So fast track construction is the key again. And along with that, constructing as per standards is again crucial. Now, though we have IRC standards and MORTH guidelines and all, most of the times we mess up all these in urban because of constraints, like you cannot close the traffic, there is a constraint. So do some little bit of ad hoc construction and end up having poor quality of construction. The last and the least is not last but not the least is maintenance. Unfortunately, in India, all of us lack in maintenance. I always say maintenance is not in our genes. We don't even maintain our homes also properly. We think one time we invest enough money, okay, construct a big palatial house by spending 5 crores, but then we don't keep budget for maintenance. But when it comes to public assets like roads, they require maintenance on a day-to-day basis. There are routine maintenances, there are periodic maintenance, there are rehabilitations, everything comes in a life cycle of a road. So we must plan maintenance along with the construction itself. There must be maintenance guidelines saying, what routine maintenance we do, what kind of periodic maintenance we do, and then the budgets for it. Unfortunately, the way government system works is they will always grant budget for capital works, but they don't grant for maintenance works. For them, maintenance is something not required. So government thinks, okay, if there is 100 crores money, I can build 2 flyovers or about 10 kilometers of roads and tell people that, look, I have built some infrastructure. At the same case, if you put the same 100 crores in maintenance of the existing road assets, nobody will know. So government has their drawbacks of why they don't put budget for maintenance. But it is time now that there shall be a separate maintenance budget and coordination happens in the maintenance. And we must know that the maintenance is a continuous process. It starts from the day the construction is over, the maintenance starts. There is no stopgap. There is nothing like, okay, fine, now I built a road, so next 4 years, let me take rest. No, it is a continuous process. If you look at some of the studies, it's this was a 5 years back study. It says about India suffers a huge loss of $21.3 billion annually on account of delays in construction, so that, and also in fuel consumptions. Now, this is only a figure given on the delay calculation. But if you add all the costs occurred due to loss of businesses, closure of businesses, the travel time, and the productivity loss, and also the frequent maintenance that we do on the roads and all, these figures will go more than $100 billion. So the key is, if we are to keep sustainable roads in our urban areas, all these for planning, design, construction, and maintenance are key. If we don't do, we'll continue to have this poor infrastructure, and we continue to lose money day on and day on. So with that, I'll conclude my talk on urban roads. And I'm always big fan of R.K. Lakshman. R.K. Lakshman, even 50-60 years back, he has made enough cartoons showcasing the days to come, what will be the problem of transportation, parking, vehicles, and all. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Very wonderful information. Yeah. Pujita, please proceed with the proceedings. We're running out of time.
Thank you so much, sir, for such splendid words, and we are fortunate to have you here with us. Moving ahead, I take the privilege to introduce Engineer M.A. Joseph, Chief Guest of ScTACE 2021. Engineer M.A. Joseph has obtained his master's degree in structural engineering from MIT Manipal 1998. He has been working with the Aditya Birla Group for the past 20 years with a professional work experience of 23 years in construction industry, and is currently the regional head technical of Ultratech Cement Limited, Kerala, and also holding the position as chairman of Indian Concrete Institute, Kochi chapter. Engineer M.A. Joseph had attended to more than 1,000 plus concreting sites and had provided mixed designs to over 150 site mixed concrete in the range of M30 to M50, and also has conducted over 50 mixed proportioning workshops, including theory and practicals as per IS 10262. Also had delivered more than 250 lectures to practice engineering, civil engineers, and architects on the topics of improvisation in construction methodologies, crack reduction techniques for both RCC and masonry, rehabilitation of distressed RCC structures, soil stabilization, reinforcement detailing, and advices on high-strength concrete mix designs. Thank you, sir, for your presence in ScTACE 2021, and I take the honor to hand over the session to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the nice introduction. In fact, I'm happy that Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women has conducted such a fabulous international conference on sustainable construction technology and advancement in civil engineering. I would also compliment the conference chair, Dr. Palagirish Kumar, for this successful completion.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hope all the participants would have benefited from this kind of a conference, and definitely these conferences give new insights to upcoming civil engineering technologies. Now, I hope you would have had a lot of deliberations during the past couple of days or weeks, I believe, isn't it? Now, in fact, there are students participating, there are faculties participating, and there are also practicing engineers participating. What each of you need to gain from these kind of conferences is more prevalent. Now, technology as such, there is no dearth of it across. You go to a web, you get information on anything. But how do you implement the right kind of technology is the current question. There are a lot of technologies, there are a lot of options. Is that like many of the projects or many of us think, do we always adopt the cheapest one? Or, there is a right saying, economy is wise spending for all of us in any option of life. This is a very important word or a statement you need to remember. Economy is wise spending. You cannot always choose the cheapest phone. You cannot always choose the cheapest clothes. You need to think. Likewise, for civil engineering, there are a lot of techniques available. So how do you understand? For understanding, definitely you need to go into depth. That is why such conferences give informations about a lot of new practices, new upcoming practices. I'll just take a short time to take you through some slides. Do I have about 10 minutes, Girish sir? I think it is.
Sir, sure, sir. 10 minutes. 10 minutes is there. 10 to 15 minutes. Yes, sir.
Yes. So let me attempt sharing a slide. You were giving some advice on how to share. I think I will also need browse my computer.
There is on top left right corner. You could see arrow mark up.
Yeah, I've come to that, and then screen is there, window is there.
Screens. Maybe if you open the PPT, you can directly screen.
Yeah, I've opened the PPT. Yes.
Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Yeah.
You can keep it in full mode, sir.
Full mode.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll just take you through something on what I would like to talk to you. Now, basically, for students, you have to know about the what, why, and how of everything in your curriculum. This will actually help you, do things right when you are at the field. So you have a time to go through various theories, through reading, watching certain videos, or watching certain programs, or watching certain applications at site. And then, of course, do it yourself is also a part to understand much better. And finally, I also would like to say that there is something called passion on everything. So in case you can identify it yourself, probably by the end of the course, that you're passionate in some field, try to master that. Is my slide moving?
Moving, sir. Moving, sir. Please proceed.
And of course, you all know that we have a wonderful set of codes prepared to guide us through every small little thing what we do in engineering. So when we come into civil engineering, there are codes giving very precise guidelines to make us safe across all parts of construction, but it would only help if you have gone through the code at least once. Now, this is the time you keep referring small parts of the code, but I would give an advice that please go through codes, at least whatever you have been referring through, please read the entire code. These codes are very minimalistic, but gives a very powerful information. And of course, probably today, if you read the next 5 or 6 years, you encounter some issue, you may remember there is something mentioned in the code and you can come back. Only then you can come back. But if you have not referred or not read the code, absolutely these codes may not be remembered during a crisis or a real need. So please make it a point that you go into codes very detailed. And then knowing about materials are definitely very, very important. You cannot take things for granted, and there is now the era is, of course, a very powerful era with a lot of marketing involved in every product. You have been seeing day in and day out how various products are being positively or negatively marketed. So it is your responsibility to understand the product before the actual use to avoid any sorts of issues. Safety. In construction, this is the prime most important uh, factor. There are very large construction sites where works come to a dead stop because of safety concerns. Of course, we all value life. Every individual is worth a million. So safety should never be forgotten at whichever cost. Your own safety and your team's safety is also very important. Just an interesting picture. In fact, this is actually a box girder bridge, of course, somewhere around 30 years old, segmental box girder bridge in Cochin. Just wanted to, from the inside, it's an interesting view. And it goes without saying that attitude is definitely needed as youngsters. This college is a all-women college, and of course, there is a lot of good news for women in industry. In fact, in September, I don't know, a couple of you must have noticed that there was all-women workforce at Ola Future Factory, which took its first batch in September. All women workforce. So that way, women are also getting into a lot of industries, also into civil engineering as well. Men and women definitely have equal opportunities. So knowing very specifically what you learn from theoretical aspects, precisely apply at practice. There is some saying that, some very old saying that, the bookish worm does not eat or bookish cow does not eat grass is not precisely true, is what I feel. Whatever you learn in books is the culmination of hundreds of years of information into a small piece of information. It becomes easy to understand things. Applying that more relevantly will only solve construction problems, which is very, very essential. In the current days also, there are so many problems happening. Of course, if you have recently noticed, there are a lot of building collapses. It happens because of wrong engineering. There's absolutely no explanation. It only happens because of wrong engineering. You need to, every element is important. If you compare a body, human body, you cannot say that the heart is more important than the lungs or a liver, or the eyes is not so important, your ears are important. No, that way, for a building, every element has its very crucial role. Now, of course, you've all heard earthquakes happening, and a small change in the attitude at construction site could have saved a couple of buildings, is what a couple of good engineers commented. So these are all few learning lessons for us. At least now you have a great opportunity with lot of lessons coming live as videos and pictures to understand more easily than probably about 20 years or 30 years back. So it is definitely easier to grasp engineering and have that impulse within you to do things in the right way. Simple, very simple techniques. The lateral ties, the importance of lateral ties is actually taught in the colleges quite often, but you will actually feel it when such problems happen. So a small care, an additional care, or in even casting a small column could save a large building. So the importance of the lateral ties, the positioning of the bars with respect to the bending moment and shear force. If you want to continue with civil engineering, I think if you have not understood bending moment and direct shear force clearly, still time to brush it up and get it into your nerves that you never forget in your life. A lot of things are being done. How they actually, this is just a photo of a flood affected building. So, you just construct and go, but this is how they would have been underground. You don't get this opportunity always, but there are a couple of tests being done, the piles being pulled out, and to understand how it actually works underground. Our theoretical or our theoretical language might transfer a little different way when it comes to practice. So how it actually behaves should be understood, can be understood now with a lot of examples across the world. And technology is changing. You all know technology is changing. We have to adopt to the best. I hope you all agree with me. You're all, if at all you buy a car today, you will start thinking, I don't know if you still keep thinking you want a diesel or a petrol or a diesel or a petrol, but I think you will start putting the latest option of a battery powered or a fuel powered, isn't it? So likewise, every customer or every industry in this world wants to be with the latest option. You cannot say olden times people used to do with this and then we will try out that. No, we need to go to the moon. And that will happen in case if you don't adopt, somebody else will adopt. So adopt, understand the latest technique, be with the latest technique, try and adopt as and when opportunities are available. Precast buildings are coming up. A lot of new technologies are coming up. Faster technologies are coming up. Understand you cannot adopt it everywhere, but appropriately, you should be ready to be providing a solution. So for that, you need to have the knowledge, at least a base knowledge of whatever is being done. And for students, especially, I would urge you to utilize your uh, project work or your industrial visits with a purpose. Don't just feel nowadays. I think for engineering, you need to be a person with good knowledge rather than good marks. So try to visit a couple of sites, with a feel that you need to get or grasp something from there, including your projects. Don't just do it for the sake of completion. You may probably get a very nice opportunity to innovate something which has not been done ever, if you really do it with a purpose. But if you just want to complete it, you may just as well take something which is previously being done, and small modification may only be, attempted. So now, yeah. Now, of course, I don't know if my voice is clear. Girish sir?
Full clear, sir.
Okay. So I'm just coming towards the end. Of course, steel buildings, a composite. I mean, you cannot imagine something that, okay, I will not use steel buildings. I will do only with concrete, or I will do only steel. I will not touch concrete. No, even a Mercedes will have parts which are made with plastic, steel, or carbon fiber, or whatever it is. There's a composite. You need to adopt wherever required, what is required. You try to optimize and use, so that your I will also come back to your conference theme of sustainability. Sustainability is to construct probably with the least harm to atmosphere. That doesn't always mean that you see, sustainability also means a time element. Time is also the most valuable resource in Earth. So you cannot do something which is very slow in the process and then say you have saved so much, you have saved so much of material. No, time is also an essential material to be considered under sustainability, rather than only materials. Of course, reusability of materials and and beauty is no compromise anywhere, for that matter. So definitely nowadays, when you learn something at your college regarding steel buildings, don't just learn for the sake of learning. Try to understand it is in application, and every bolt or every connection needs to be felt and learned, so that when the application comes, you are with it for a better application. Composite, I said, you cannot only think of this. Have composite understanding. Have also understanding about various softwares which make your process much easier, much faster. With decking slabs, the quite easy and fast construction is possible. I hope across India these technologies are available. I'm not showing anything which is very futuristic. I'm showing things which are in application currently, and a good example of this was in Cochin Metro. They have used to connect the girders. They have used decking slabs to make it much faster. It is a left-in form, so construction is faster. So, and it is interesting. It needs to be understood also. And of course, you have lot of new materials. Anything in the international construction arena is currently available in India. Lightweight blocks and all that is available, but before use, not only before use, you may not use if you have not understood this. This is the problem of the current engineering also. Because I don't understand certain things, I will postpone. I'll say, not for this project, I will try for the next project. So this happens if you have lack of information. So try to gain in information. They are not complicated. They're all simple things to understand, only needs a little bit of focus. You've all been hearing about pervious concrete. Somebody was asking whether pervious concrete will as such absorb and, take off water. It needs to be it is just leaving away water, and it needs to have a collection chamber separately. It is only pervious. It doesn't drink water. So how do you give that, and what is the necessities, and all that are very interesting facts. And build something with a sense of engineering and beauty to make it sustainable. Not just, you have to save cost, you build something, use, and however dead it looks, let it remain, I have saved a lot of cost. No, it should have a element of beauty to gel with the nature. This is one small brick structure in Kerala. See how beautifully using the structural finish and the construction and the painting, of course, looks so nice. And I'm sad to say that Professor Aravindan, head of, he was a professor at IIT. He was the heading Srigiri Consultants, is no more. But my my remembrance for such great designs on this occasion. And of course, the world will not stop thinking. You need to innovate. Engineering is what today will never be the same tomorrow. So please innovate, have the guts. You may go wrong slightly here and there, but these are all, this interest. This is actually not a very new thing. It's a very old concept, but how beautiful it is. It's called 1 meter squared house. He's sitting here with the laptop. He's sleeping with this tilted. So, but be a responsible engineer. Whatever we do, why do we select concrete is because concrete can be made to last at least for 100 years comfortably. Not like, other metals which needs painting, which needs maintenance often, or wood which needs also maintenance. Concrete was is and will be a very durable material if you do it right the first time. So be a responsible engineer. As a member of Indian Concrete Institute, I will reiterate that concrete can be made to last at least 100 years much easily. It's not so tough. Just have that within yourself. It can be made. So thank you so much. And I thank all the organizing committee for from Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, the chairman, the vice chairman, the secretary, the principal, the vice principal for giving me this opportunity to be with you. I hope I've not taken too much of time, and I felt I should enlighten a couple of students, if not the entire participants, to take engineering in the right spirit and take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you very
Sir,
much.
I have one doubt, sir. Can I ask, sir, Girish, sir?
So please finish it. Please, sir.
Sir, Ratnakar, sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Sir, if we construct a building, maybe 20 to 30 meter of distance, a road may be there. If any vehicles are going, a little bit of vibrations are in the, maybe I am saying some damping forces on the building, sir. Sir, while we are designing, can we keep these standards in the designing practices, sir?
To
Damping forces of these, sir?
no, you are asking to how to avoid these vibrations in the design.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this has to be considered in the building or road?
Maybe 20 to 30 meter distance of building also. If heavy vehicle is going, it is a little bit vibrating, sir, buildings.
Okay, so now
Entire building is vibrating.
when we design roads, so the transfer of load on a road happens between the pavement through the pavement layer. So we got from bituminous layers top to aggregate layers to subgrade. So that is all goes into design of roads. Now you should ask actually Joseph sir to see what is to be done to avoid this vibration in the building design.
In fact, it is actually a good question where we will, dampen the vibration. Now, this problem is actually there across in many places where hard strata, roads on hard strata is there. These problems are slightly more because the vibration transfer is, precisely very strong. If you have a softer strata, probably the transfers are less. So in such cases, I agree with engineer Ratnakar Reddy that buildings needs to be looked into for dampening the vibrations rather than the roads, because roads you cannot suspend the road. Your load is entirely going onto the strata. So I think vibration dampening, if it is very essential, can be done for buildings with some dampers and all that. So I don't know how important the building is, may decide whether you should do it or not.
Sir, I have one more question, sir. Actually, while we are designing the building, these things also we consider, or if we consider also very less importance we are giving?
No, not that. Everything is cost. Actually, you can dampen any road also. You can have a road which transfers much less vibrations onto the substrata, but it is expensive. Likewise, if you have a building, and if there is a machinery which is a very sensitive machinery to vibration, you may either have to find a location without an issue, or if you don't, if you are forced to put it on the location where vibrations are frequent, then you may have to have a floor with dampers available. And I'll give you an idea that in case now what they're doing is, for the machine alone, they fit in dampers which are much cheaper, rather than making the whole building uh, you know work against vibration. You can make any floor vibration free or any small area vibration free. There are a lot of techniques. Okay.
Thank you, Joseph sir. Thank you, Ratnakar Reddy sir.
Thank you, sir, for all the support and commitment you have bestowed out towards ScTACE 2021.
Thank you very much, sir, both of you. And I request Engineer Ratnakar Reddy sir and Engineer Joseph sir to please check the document sent and please announce the best paper awards for the panel people. I request Engineer Ratnakar Reddy sir to announce panel number 1 to 6 best papers from each panel.
Okay, so here are the best papers of panel discussion ScTACE 2021. For the panel 1, the best paper is Performance of Pervious Concrete as a Sustainable Alternative Towards Green Infrastructure Using Marginal Aggregates, with a manuscript ID 2150. The authors are Barnoli Debnath and Partha Pratim Sarkar. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
The best paper of panel number 2 is manuscript ID 2394, Removal of Phenol from Wastewater Using Locally Available Waste Material. The authors are Mohammad Dilshad Uzair, Bharat Lakimisetti, Aditya Chatterjee, and C.R. Girish. Congratulations, team. The best paper of panel number 3 is manuscript ID 2306, a comparative study on strength characteristics of fiber reinforced activated geopolymer concrete. The authors are Jagandas Sabawat, Mallikarjuna Rao G, and Venu Mangadoddi. Congratulations, team. The best paper of panel 4 is manuscript ID 2324, a review on behavior of Gabion boxes using experimental and analytical methods. The authors are Abhishek KV, NC Balaji, Rohit Jain, Chirdeep Yennar, and K. Gaurav. Congratulations. The best paper of panel 5 is manuscript ID 2331, effect of speed calming measures on vehicular speed for rural roads. The authors are Kuldeep, Akshata Badiger, Archana, and Anjaney Pavi. Congratulations. The best paper of panel 6 is manuscript ID 2100, a BIM-based approach of electrical network analysis and applications using GIS tools. The authors are Tejaswini V, Kesava Rao P, Dhananjaya Rao EN, Nagaraj R, Sinha SK, and Rajan KS. Congratulations, team.
Thank you very much, sir, for the announcing the best papers for the panels 1 to 6. And I request Engineer Joseph, sir, to please announce the other best papers from panel 7 to panel 12.
Yeah.
Sir, please.
First of all, congratulations for the winners. And panel 7 manuscript number is 2076. And the topic is self-compacting concrete using tobacco waste ash. Author Ashwin Tamaya K, Manu Prasad, Nishal, Ravi, Rohit. Yeah, 4 of them, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 4 of them in one paper. Yes, 4 of the authors.
Yeah, 4 authors. Congratulations. And panel 8 is the topic is application of waste tire rubber crumbs in strengthening of bituminous roads. Authors Santanu Haldar, T. Sendil, and Sugandha Das. And going to panel 9, manuscript number 2347 and 2397. I think they've jointly won this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2 are the equivalent.
Yeah. So I'll repeat 2347 and 2397. Topic is mechanical properties of an industrial waste concrete with self-compacting geopolymerization. Good. And the second, the authors of that is Endo Mazumdar and Nilanjan Tarafaldar and LV Prasad. Okay. And the second topic is numerical investigation on flexural behavior of CFRP strengthened steel pipes. The authors Mubashir, Manoranjit, Madan Kumar, Praveen Kumar, and Cyril Thomas. Congratulations. And going to panel 10 is manuscript number 2129. The topic is the application of statistics and fuzzy logic in predicting slope stability. The authors Arunav Chakravarti and Anasuya Goswami. Congrats. And coming to the last panel number 12, the manuscript number 2219. The topic is seismic analysis on steel frames for the efficient bracing system. The authors Rajkumar R, Monis Mouli K.S, Sahaya Shalmiya, and Sangavisari. Hope I've pronounced the names right. But anyway, congratulations. I think over 72 papers you were you were selected. So this was a great moment. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And I congratulate all the paper awardees. And you have done really a good job. And now I request Pujita to proceed. Yeah.
And now, the much awaited part of the valediction is here. I request Engineer Ratnakar Reddy Garu and Engineer Joseph Garu to release the first look of the souvenir of ScTACE 2021.
So can we proceed, sir? Can we release?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. So here is our first look of ScTACE 2021 souvenir. And I'm thankful to all the participants for your patience. And also I thank all the editors of the proceedings. I thank the conference review committee for identifying the best papers also for publication. Also, I congratulate all the session speakers, session chairs, external session chairs, internal session chairs for identifying the best papers of each panel. And also, I congratulate all the student coordinators for having such a wonderful thing. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, please proceed, Pujita.
Thank you, sir. Now, we would like to hear some feedback from you all. Your feedback will help us and gives us boost to conduct. Now, proceeding further, no event or conference or function can take shape without a hardworking leader. It was the dedication and enthusiasm of our conference chair, Dr. Palagirish Kumar, the conference has seen such triumph. His determination is commendable, and it is his hard work that made the conference a grand success. Above and beyond, let's not forget the backbone of this grand event, our faculty and coordinators who went an extra mile for ScTACE 2021. And now I request Dr. Palagirish Kumar sir, head of the department, SVCW and conference chair, ScTACE, to propose the vote of thanks followed by our national anthem.
Thank you very much, Saranya. To all the honorable dignitaries, eminent speakers, respected colleague faculty, dearly beloved students and audience, I, Dr. Palagirish Kumar, Head and Associate Professor of Department of Civil Engineering, SVCW, and Conference Chair of ScTACE 2021, would like to express my sincere thankfulness and appreciation for being the charm of ScTACE 2021. Without you, this ScTACE wouldn't have witnessed such a glory. I feel much delighted to share about the successful march of ScTACE, beholding over 200 abstract submissions with 170 full-length paper submissions, endorsing 350 plus registrants. In this regard, I want to extend my heartfelt gratefulness to Dr. Samson Matthew, the Director of NATPAC Kerala, Engineer Radhakrishnan, Secretary General, Indian Concrete Institute, Chennai, Engineer K.B. Ratnakar Reddy sir, Managing Director of Infra Support Engineering Consultants Private Limited, and Engineer M.A. Joseph, ICI Chairman, Kochi Regional Head Technical Services, Ultratech Cement Limited, Kerala, for accepting our invitation and being the chief guest of the conference. Furthermore, I want to credit Professor Shenyan Chen from the University of North Carolina and our very close person, Dr. Rasma Murthy, Transportation and Traffic Engineering Consultants, USA, and Professor Krishna Reddy and Dr. Ramesh from University of Illinois, USA, Professor Venkatesh from Purdue University, USA, Professor Eldo TI from IIT Bombay, Professor Professor B. Krishna Prapurna from IIT Tirupati, and Professor KVL Subramaniam from IIT Hyderabad, Professor S. Jayalakshmi from NIT Trichy, and Professor K. Srinivas Raja from BITS Pilani, and Engineer S. Satyaseelan from Team Edge PCAS in Tamil Nadu for being such an honor to this conference, ScTACE 2021. Your insights, keynotes, and guest talks were highly influential, thoughtful, and knowledgeable. Furthermore, I would like to appreciate the continuous efforts of the General Conference Chair, Scientific Committee Chair, Program Committee Chair, editors, Conference Review Committee members, internal and external chairs, session chairs, panel session chairs, and international and national advisory and technical core committee members in making this ScTACE 2021 substantially successful. Likewise, I proffer my thankfulness to our chairman, sir, Sri K.V. Vishnuraj Garu, and our vice chairman, Sri Ravichandran Rajgopal, and our secretary, Sri K. Aditya Vizam, and our principal, Dr. G. Srinivas Rao, and vice principal, Dr. P. Srinivas Raju, and the entire management of Sri Vishnu Educational Society and SVCW for providing the needed support and encouragement. In this regard, I would like to acknowledge my beloved faculty of the Department of Civil Engineering who helped me in accomplishing this dream of the second edition of ScTACE. A special thanks to the faculty coordinator of ScTACE 2021, Mrs. P. Lavanya, for the constant endeavors in succeeding the conference. Also, sincere thankfulness and warm wishes to all the authors and listeners who bestowed their valuable time and work with ScTACE 2021. The patience you have shown, the cooperation you have attested, the time you have invested in us expounds our trust in ScTACE 2021. It was inestimable, and we feel lucky to have such an endearing family. Ultimately, I would like to quote the extra efforts and extreme hard work put forth by my beloved students, who are one of the supreme reasons for the success of ScTACE 2021. Proving that women are better leaders once given a rein, you have succeeded me from ScTACE 2020 to ScTACE 2021. Once again, thank you, my dear students, for taking the responsibilities upon your shoulders and standing by me at all times. Ultimately, we have completed the second International Conference on Sustainable Construction Technologies and Advancements in Civil Engineering, the second edition of ScTACE. Flocks and flocks of hands together piled the legacy of ScTACE, and with today, a beautiful journey of 3 consecutive days has come to an end. Now it is time for us to part ways, only to come back with a much more magnanimous purpose to meet. A warm-hearted thanks to all, to the Almighty for the generous and bountiful blessings showered upon us. I wish you all good luck in your future endeavors, and once again, thank you for being such a fantastic family of ScTACE.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Yeah, thank you very much, and please proceed.
On this note, let us conclude this remarkable, memorable, and knowledgeable valedictory session. On behalf of the department and institution, we sincerely thank the dignitaries for being with us and enlightening us with their enthusiastic remarks. We shower our heartfelt gratitude to the presenters and listeners for support and rendered in the success of ScTACE 2021. Once again, thank you all. Have a great day.
Sir, Ratnakar Reddy sir and Joseph sir, very much thankful to you, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Giridhar garu.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Krishna Rao garu, thank you.
You done very well. It's a great success.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Good. All the best in future endeavors also.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Happy Dasara.
Same to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right. I'll meet you once I come to Eluru. My wife is working at Eluru.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. We will meet.
She's a deputy director of sericulture there.
Oh, excellent, sir.
I'll be coming there once I come to Bhimavaram also.
Yes, sir. Please intimate. We'll meet, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, firstly, congratulations, sir, for the success of ScTACE 2021 also. And it is really a proud moment for us, being the students, to witness your success, sir, from 2020 to 2021. And we're hoping to see 2022 also, sir. And all the best, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much. We will see that. We'll do it.
Girish sir, congratulations to you. First of all, you have organized such a wonderful event, and it is really I cannot say it is like all the papers which were published and all the presenters, the large amount of participation, and conducting such an event online is not an easy task. I hope everything has gone and you have done a very good job, sir. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. Yeah, we wish that you will participate in future events too.
Sure, sir. Sure. All the best, sir.
All the best. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's all. We will end this session, and yeah, wish you all the best for all your future achievements or future endeavors. Thank you once again.